King Mongkut University of Technology Thonburi Civil Engineering Department proudly represent to you.
Specific gravity and absorption of coarse aggregate and fine aggregate.
First question. What is specific gravity?
The specific gravity is the ratio of mass of the aggregate to the volume of the water equal to the volume of aggregate particle.
Very good. Question 2. What is the absorption?
Absorption or water absorption is the ratio of the difference between the mass of dry aggregate minus mass of aggregate saturated surface dry condition to the mass of the dry aggregate itself. It is the expressed in percent.
Very good. Question 3. What is the importance of specific gravity?
It is used to calculate the volume occupied by aggregate in the various mixture containing aggregate, including hydraulic cement, bituminous concrete, and other mixture proportion, or analyzed on absolute volume basis.
Very good. Question 4.
What is the importance of absorption?
It is used to calculate the change in the mass of an aggregate due to the water absorbed in the pore spaces within the constituent particles compared to dry condition when it is deemed that the aggregate has been in contact in the water long enough to satisfy the absorption potential.
Very good.
The last question.
What is the application of absorption and specific gravity in civil engineering?
The specific gravity is used in calculating the percentage between voids and solid volume of aggregates in computations of yield, and the absorption is used in determining the net water-cement ratio in concrete mix. And knowing the specific gravity is also critical in construction of water filtration system, slope stabilization projects, railway bedding, and many other applications.
Very good.
Let's start with our lab.
First, we have to prepare our specimen, so we need a pan. Then we will separate into 4 parts. Then we take 2 parts. The sample will have mass about 500 grams. We need to soak our specimens for 24 hours to fill the void with water and make it become saturated. This is how samples look like after submerging it in water for 24 hours.
Drain the water first. A little amount of water will still remain on the surface of the water. So, use a dryer in order to obtain its SSD condition. You can determine the SSD condition if it passes through the sand coat test method.
After drying it for a while, perform sand cone test. Fill the cone completely with the dry sample.
Then tamp the sample for 10 times. The tamper should be at a distance of approximately 5 millimeters above the top surface of the cone. The tamping should not be forced and it should go along with the gravitational force. And make sure that the tamper should not contact or touch the tip of the cone. The sample will then be compacted, so fill it again. with the remaining sample. Then sample it again for 10 times. If it's still not full, fill it again with the remaining sample. And have it sample for 5 times. Cut off the surface of the cone.
After we lift the cone, and if our sample collapses a little bit, it means that our sample is already in the SSD condition. This means that our sample is still wet, so we have to redo it again.
We have to weigh the mass of piezometer, fill with water and piezometer water and SSD sand. Fill piezometer with SSD condition sand and add water until the water level reaches the mass. Bubble will fall at the surface of water. Gently roll the piezometer to remove air bubble hiding between sand particles. Use tissue to remove those bubbles out. After you are sure that it's not air bubble left, weigh the piezometer again. Next step is to take the water and sand out of piezometer. After you pull the sand and water out, there are some sand particles. Take them out by adding water and pour it through again until there is no sand particle left.
Put the sample in the oven 24 hours.
Bring a portion of coarse aggregate. Divide them into 4 parts. Take 2 from opposite portion. Soak the sample under water for 24 hours to make sure that the void is fully filled with water.
Take the sample out from the water and write the surface of aggregate.
Wet the bucket in the water.
Wet the sample under the water. Put the sample in the oven 1 day.